Hello everyone, John Cottrell here of MBODY Yoga in Salt Lake City. Welcome. This is Power Hour. It is a 60-minute power vinyasa yoga practice. So vinyasa means we're going to be flowing, moving with breath. And I've put quite a sequence together. There can be a lot of movement in our practice today. So we're going to be focusing on a pretty popular yoga pose, and it's Pigeon Pose. We'll be doing Pigeon Pose in a variety of ways. Pigeon Pose is a great hip opener, so there'll be some other types of hip openers in this practice, but all with this Pigeon Pose theme. Alrighty, and get ready again for a lot of movement. Now for our prompts today, I don't think I'll be using any particular prompts for this practice, but you're always welcome to use prompts. I always like to have a couple of blocks nearby. They can help with some of our pigeon poses or just any other posture that you like, even like side angle pose, or if you like to sit on a block, anything like that. Straps, bolsters, blankets, anything to help support your practice, please go ahead and use those as well. I think that's it. We are ready to begin. So I invite you to stand nice and tall near the top of your mat, and your feet are about hip distance apart, toes are pointing forward. We'll just take a quick moment just to roll the shoulders, big circles, roll them backward, roll them forward a couple times, and just begin to breathe deeply. Nice breath in through your nose. You can exhale through your nose or through your mouth. It's nice to exhale through the mouth with a nice sigh, because then you can really feel that relaxation start to take over, especially in the upper body. Taking these nice full breaths in and out is another way to bring ourselves to the moment. Being more present, connected, and aware. And then just settle into slow, steady breaths in and out. And feel free to close your eyes if you'd like. Or if you keep your eyes open, just a slight, a soft gaze forward or even downward towards the ground. Again, just tuning into your breathing. Noticing how your body is responding to your breath. Listening to the sound of your breath. And as you breathe in, you might just feel the lifting and lengthening of your spine, standing up nice and tall, and that nice expansion in your lungs. Then as you exhale, just draw your navel inward towards your spine. We're engaging our center. We call that the abdominal lock. So just feel that sensation. Again, as you breathe in, just feel much taller, lengthening through your spine, and feel that nice expansion in your lungs. Exhale, connect to your center, draw navel inward towards spine, that light contraction of your abdominal muscles. Go ahead and take 3 more breaths like that, using these breaths to prepare your body to move. And when you're ready, inhale and extend your arms overhead. Reach and stretch high. Exhale, let's fold forward, so a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to, making your way down towards toes. We'll inhale, slide your hands up to your knees or thighs to extend your spine long and flat like a table. Exhale, let's fold again. Just a brief pause in our forward fold, just to feel that stretch down through the backs of the legs, a release down through the back. Then go ahead and shift your weight back into your heels, bend your knees. Feel like you're going to sit down, so lowering your hips, look forward, take your arms out to the side, and then just stand up and just keep your arms reaching out and then up into the air. Exhale, bring your arms down by your side. Very nice. We're going to do that once again, same sequence. Here we go. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, we'll fold forward, good hinge of the hips, bent knees, making your way down towards toes. Inhale, rise up halfway, fully extend the spine. Exhale to fold. And again, just shifting your weight into your heels, bend your knees, look forward, sweep your arms out to the side, then inhale, stand up really tall, reach high, exhale, arms down by your side. Very nice. Let's just pause here in mountain pose. Take a couple deep breaths. Just a nice introduction of movement to the body. And we'll just continue with our sun salutation, adding on to our sequence. When you're ready, inhale, let's take the arms out and up, lengthening through the sides of your body. Exhale, we'll fold forward, soft knees as you make your way down, maybe touching your toes. Inhale, rise up halfway, feel the top of your head lead you forward. This exhale, keep folding all the way down until you can place your hands on your mat, then walk both feet back to the back end of your mat until you're in a straight line, plank pose. We'll breathe in right here. Exhale, bend your knees a bit, send your hips up into the air, downward facing dog. We'll pause here for just a moment. Make any adjustments with your feet and hands as you need to. I'd suggest spreading out your fingers pretty wide. Press firmly into the ground with the hands so you have strong, straight arms, giving you energy and strength and support in your upper back, neck, and shoulders. Now with your feet, you might want to pedal the feet if you like. You can also just hold still. If you pedal the feet, you might press one heel down as the other heel lifts, and then just alternate, feeling that stretch through the calf muscles, through your toes, and just notice and feel the bend in the knees, even a little shift in the hips. Maybe one more press on both sides. Return to down dog. Take a nice full breath in. Exhale, walk, step, or even hop both feet back up to the top of the mat. Inhale just to extend your spine. Exhale, fold. Again, shifting weight into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Grow tall, reach into the air. We're going to keep moving. As you exhale, take chair pose. Sit back and down into your seat. Let's hold this for a couple of breaths. Weights in the heels. Even your hips feel like they're reaching back towards the back edge of your mat. Arms extended. We'll breathe in and exhale. Let's dive forward, back down towards toes. Inhale, let's rise up halfway. We'll call it monkey pose. Exhale, bending your knees, hands to the mat. Walk, step, or hop both feet back into plank pose. We'll take a breath in, and our exhale to bend elbows. Lower your body down towards the ground. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. For your back bend right here, exhale onto your toes, lift hips up into the sky, downward facing dog. Once again, adjust your hands and feet so you can arrive in your pose. We'll continue with our lunge. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you, reaching back energetically. Exhale, bring right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel turns to the floor behind you. Make sure to put good weight and pressure in that back foot. So we can hinge from the hips. Inhale, rise up, reach up into the air, warrior one. We'll exhale, fold to bring the hands back down to the floor. We'll step back into plank pose. Again, bend elbows. Even feel elbows squeeze in towards ribs as you lower yourself down. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Adjusting and arriving. Other side. Inhale, extend left leg up into the air. And our exhale to bring left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel plants into the floor. Feel the lightness in the hands. Then hinge from hips. Rise up, warrior one, reaching high. Exhale, fold. Bringing the hands back down to the ground. Let's step back into plank pose. Finish your sequence. Lowering yourself down. You can always bring knees to the floor first if you need to. Let's take up dog. And downward facing dog. All right, hold here for a moment. We're going to do a little floor work. So you're going to kneel down and take a seat, or hop forward, cross your legs and take a seat, and go ahead and roll down onto your back. I'm just going to adjust my mat, and I'll meet you there. So sitting in the center of your mat, let's roll down. We're going to do several poses here. We'll start with our bridge pose, which is a nice back bend. So first, just lie flat, make that connection to the ground. Of course, your knees are bent and feet are on the mat. A couple of breaths here as you prepare. All right, we're going to take a nice full breath in to fill up the lungs. Exhale, engage belly. And then peel your hips up off the ground, lifting up. There we are, ready for our bridge pose. You can stay just like this, just simply lifting the hips. But if you like to, you can get your shoulders underneath you. You might need to rock your upper body left and right
several times to get your shoulders and arms underneath you. Now your arms can stay long and flat on the ground. I tend to bend elbows here so I can press the arms down into the floor, just providing a little bit more stabilization in the body as we open the whole front side of the body in our back bend. So several breaths so you can be very aware of your body in this position, the sensation. Lots of engagement here too. A lot is going on just to hold your body in this posture. Okay, 2 more breaths. Then you'll wiggle your toes forward slightly, extend your arms up into the air, and then roll your way down. Go ahead and hug both knees into chest. Maybe a few circles just to release any tension that might be in your low back and hips. Okay, like I said, we're going to do a few more poses here. All right, so just lower your right foot to the ground. So the knee is bent, right foot is on the ground. The left foot, you're just going to cross this left ankle over right thigh. Hold here for a moment and just have the awareness that your left knee is pointing towards the left side of the room. And I'd even suggest flexing the left foot. We're going to do eye of the needle pose. And so, but we also call this reclining pigeon. So this is one of our first pigeon postures. So you can stay just like this, or to get more into this left outer hip, pick up the right foot, bring the legs towards yourself. Your left arm becomes the thread that goes through the eye of the needle, and then hold on to right shin or right hamstring. Now when you lift the right foot, flex that foot. So both feet are flexed just to keep those legs and feet energized and active. Keeps you aware. Now the more that you draw the legs in close, you'll feel more perhaps in your outer hip and glute. At least that's where I feel it. This is also a nice alternative to the regular pigeon pose, and we will be doing pigeon pose. So just think of this as reclining pigeon, or more formally, eye of the needle pose. All right, we're going to lower the right foot, uncross the left, and just come back to this neutral position, knees bent, feet flat on the ground. Hold here. All right, we're going to do the same thing other side. So we're going to cross right ankle over left thigh, right knee is pointing to the right side of the room, flex right foot. Either stay here, because this may be enough for your hips, but if not, and you want more sensation, pick up the left foot from the ground, flex that foot, thread the needle with the right arm, hold on to left shin or left hamstring, find that position that feels just right for the right leg, and breathe. Good. So this is our reclining pigeon or eye of the needle pose. Both feet are flexed. Let's take 2 more breaths. So just our introduction to pigeon pose. All right, let's release, set the left foot down, uncross the leg, set the right foot down, just come back to this neutral posture as everything comes back to neutral. Then go ahead and hug both knees into chest. Start to rock forward and back gently. And with a good exhale, rock your way up to seated. So we can come to boat pose. So here in boat, once you're here, maybe flexed feet. Maybe your shins are parallel to the floor, holding onto the backs of the legs as a way to help lift and extend the spine. We are at an angle with the upper body. Be sure to lift the chin slightly so the neck is in the same alignment as the spine. Okay, we're going to keep moving. Breathe in. And we'll exhale, cross legs, hands in front, hop or step back into plank pose. We'll hold plank for a second here. Let's just go ahead and take a shortcut to down dog. Just bend your knees a little, send your hips into the air. Let's continue with a lunge sequence. We'll inhale to extend right leg up. Let's open this up. So bend the right knee, bring your heel down towards backside, lifting the right knee up towards the ceiling. This is, I would consider, another hip opener. All right, we're going to unwind it and then step through. So right foot to the top of the mat. We're going back to warrior 1. Left heel turns to the ground. Put pressure back there. Inhale, float your way up. Then exhale, let's open it to a warrior 2. So we're here, standing tall, nice lunge, wide stance, right knee is bent, right knee and toes are pointing forward, arms extended. So this, of course, is a hip opener. So we're working really this front leg, this right inner thigh. We're going to take that a little further by going to side angle pose. So reach out over the right leg to angle the upper half of the body. Right arm comes down, and your left arm reaching up into the air, something like this. Now you could be reaching and actually touching the ground or a stack of blocks if you'd like. This is where I tend to go. This is where my body feels just right for this posture. So just pay attention to what feels best for you. All right, we're going to breathe in. Exhale, turn. Let's bring the hands to the floor. We're going to step back into plank pose, but keep your right foot lifted for a moment. Just reach back through your toes. Now, your foot doesn't have to lift very high off the ground. If you can see me, my foot is not higher than my hips, but it is reaching back. All right, just set the toes on the ground, so plank pose. Take a shortcut to down dog. Bend your knees, hips into the air. We'll do the same other side. Inhale, extend left leg up. Bend and twist. We'll bend the knee, heel comes down towards backside, lifting the knee to get the hip opener. Couple breaths. We'll unwind it and then step through. Left foot to the top of the mat, right heel turns to the floor. Find that balance on 2 feet. Float your arms up into the air facing forward, warrior 1. And exhale, warrior 2. Make your adjustments in your lunge. Nice energy through your arms, hands and fingertips. We're getting that hip opener in the left leg now. Going a little deeper by taking this to side angle. Reach forward, out over the left leg. Rotate your arms. Remember, perfectly fine to go much lower than I am at the moment. Either right down to the floor or maybe some stacked blocks. Nice extension. You're reaching upward with the right hand, trying to touch the ceiling. Left hand, perhaps reaching for the ground. Okay, let's breathe in. Exhale, we'll turn to bring the hands to the floor. Let's step back, plank pose, left foot lifted. Just reaching back, same thing, just energetically reaching back through the left foot. There's also an energy of moving through the top of your head towards the front of the room. All right, set the left foot down, plank pose. Now set both knees onto the floor here, okay? We're going to do what's called spinal balance. So first, let's do a set of cat and cow. So you're going to inhale, look forward or slightly up, arching the back. So it's a bit of a back bend if you can see this. Exhale, rounding the spine like so. Pulling belly button up towards spine, chin to chest. And reverse it. So pelvis tips back, your belly drops a little bit, heart opens, look forward. Exhale, round. Okay, we'll do that a couple more times. Just get this nice fluidity through the spine, movement through the pelvis. All right, going to do this one more time. So you'll inhale, arching the back. Exhale, round spine and hold cat. Keep breathing while you're in cat pose, but hold cat. What you're going to do is shift your weight over to right knee. So you can extend the left leg back. Okay, the toes are still on the ground at the moment, just so you have some balance. And then once you feel like you're balanced here, just lift the left foot slightly off the floor. So reaching back energetically. And then extend your right arm forward. Reach. Good extension. So it's opposite limbs. Right hand reaching forward, left leg reaching back. We're going to add one little thing here. We're going to inhale, reach in these opposite directions. As you exhale, bring the left knee and right elbow together underneath you so maybe they touch. Inhale, re-extend, trying to keep a flat back or a slightly rounded back, and we'll plant it. Bring the hand down, bring the knee down, right there. Let's do another set of cat and cow. Inhale, look up, arching the back. Exhale, round, hold cat pose. Because once we get into the spinal balance, things start to lengthen out, but this is the nice setup. Start shifting weight over to left knee, extend right leg back, maybe toes on the floor until you feel balanced here, and then pick up the right foot, reaching back energetically. Then when you're ready, extend left arm forward, spinal balance. Reach. Good extension. Reaching in these opposite directions. Here comes the little crunch, I'll call it. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. Left elbow, right knee coming in underneath you, perhaps touching, re-extending. Take your time with this so the back stays slightly rounded. Then plant. Bring the hand and knee back down to the floor. Just hold here for a moment. All right, step your hands forward so your hands are out from underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes with an exhale. Lift knees and hips into the air. Downward facing dog. From here, jump, step, or walk. Both feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, extend spine. Exhale, fold. Weights in the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Come up to standing, reaching up into the air. Exhale, arms down by your side. Excellent. Okay. All right, now we do some standing work. Let's get into some balance. So tree pose is our first posture here. So once again, finding balance on 2 feet. Start shifting your weight over to right foot. I'm just going to mirror you here. Planting the foot into the ground. You want to feel nice and tall, lengthen spine. Inhale. Exhale, engage belly. And then float your left foot up into the air, picking up the knee, flexed foot. Here comes the hip opener. Getting ready for tree, so knee out to the side, placing foot on the inside of your standing leg. Then an inhale to take the arms up into the sky. There we go, reaching upward. As you breathe in, exhale, connect to your center. So we'll hold here for a couple breaths, just experiencing the balance work, but also another hip opener. Tree pose is another hip opener for us. Keep your arms extended. We'll swing the left knee forward. Lift the knee with the flexed foot. Plant the foot into the ground and arms back down by your side. You can even shake out your shoulders if you'd like. We'll get set up for the other side. We're really moving along because there's a lot of postures that we need to put together for our sequence. All right, so other side. So shifting weight into the left foot, plant it. We're going to inhale, get nice and tall. Fill up the lungs, exhale, engage belly. Then we'll float right foot up. Knee lifts, thighs parallel to the floor. We'll swing the knee out to the side there and placing foot on the inside of your standing leg. Inhale, let's take the arms up into the air. Get that good lift, good reaching sensation. The more that we lift, getting the torso to rise a bit up out of the pelvis, it helps open the hip a little bit more. So your right knee might even point a bit more towards the right side of the room. We'll just take a couple more breaths. Your focus is probably forward or even slightly downward at the ground to help with that balance. Arms stay extended. Let's swing right knee forward, lifting knee with the flexed foot. Plant the foot into the ground, arms down by your side. Very nice. All right, let's just do another flow so we can just keep things moving here. We'll inhale, take the arms all the way up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, hands to the floor. Let's step back into plank pose. Come on down. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, extend right leg up. Bend and twist open. As we exhale, unwind it, step through. Right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel plants down behind you. Inhale, float up. Take your time if you need to. Exhale, opening to warrior two. Especially if I get a little ahead of you, it's all right. Just keep on moving. Here's our side angle pose, reaching out. Rotate the arms, extending high and low. Hold here for a couple breaths because we're going to add on to this next little movement here. Okay, follow me. We're going to breathe in. Exhale, turn. Bring hands to the floor. Step back, plank pose, right foot lifted. Just extending back. Now, you're going to gently set your left knee onto the floor. Right leg is still reaching back. Let's go to that spinal balance. So left arm is going to extend forward, reach. Inhale. Exhale, let's do that crunch. Knee to elbow underneath. Re-extend. Plant. Hand down, right knee down. Okay, we're going to add something here. Let's just return to plank pose. Just lift the knees. Right side plank. So you're going to turn sideways. So your right hand will stay on the ground opening up sideways like this. If you can do this with straight legs, 2 straight legs, go ahead. If you need to bring the right knee to the ground, perfect. If you're here with me, pick up the left leg, bend the knee, turn the knee towards the ceiling, and just gently place your toes or foot on the inside of the right leg. It's like tree pose. So it's side plank with that bend in the knee. We're going to carefully turn and just return to plank pose. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Alrighty, if you need to rest, please do so. Otherwise, continue with me. Inhale, reach up high. Bend and twist open. Left leg is lifted. We'll unwind it. Step the left foot to the top of the mat. Warrior 1. Right heel plants into the floor. We're rising up. Exhale, opening. Warrior 2. Settle in. Find the posture. Right away to side angle. We'll hold this side angle pose for a couple breaths just to take advantage of the hip opener here. Alrighty. Breathe in. Exhale, let's turn to bring the hands to the floor. Step back, plank pose, left foot lifted, hold. Okay, so the left foot's lifted, straight as can be, reaching back. Gently bend the right knee to bring it down to the mat. Ready for spinal balance. So the left foot's still reaching back. Right arm will reach forward, spinal balance. Hold. Part of the balance is actually squeezing in towards center line. Okay, squeezing both arms, both legs towards the center of your body. Inhale. Let's take our crunch. Exhale, knee to elbow underneath. Re-extend. And then bring the knee and hand back down to the ground. Tuck toes so you can lift knees. Plank. Left side plank. So on the left hand, opening up sideways to the right side of the room. Left knee can be on the ground. Or straight legs. If you're here with me, pick up the right leg, lifting it, bend the knee. Turn the knee towards ceiling so you can place the foot gently on the inside of the left leg. Another hip opener with a lot of upper body strength. Let's return to the floor. Turning so you can bring both hands, both feet to the ground, plank pose. Let's finish with chaturanga. Up dog. And downward facing. All right, let's get into our traditional pigeon pose. Let's go ahead and inhale, take right leg back up into the sky, bend and twist open. Now on the exhale, we'll unwind it, but bring right knee to the ground, behind right wrist. We angle the right leg here. Set the left knee onto the floor, and then just use your left knee and toes, shifting your body back so you can kind of find your center here. I am going to use a block. I'm kind of high up off the ground, and the block on my right, underneath my right cheek here, is going to help me stay balanced and supported. And then start walking the arms or hands forward as if you were crawling forward, and then gently lower your way down as best as you can. Now you can always stay up on your hands for a few more breaths, but if you're able to, come down a little lower. Maybe down to elbows. You can even bring your head all the way down to the mat. Or if that feels like that's too far, because I'm kind of lifted away from the ground, I'm just going to bring in my second block and just rest my forehead on the block. Now if you don't have a second block, what you can do is actually take your fists or make fists with your hands, stack one on top of the other, and then place your forehead on it. So this is one version of pigeon pose, a very common one. So we have the right leg bent. It's angled underneath us. Left leg is extending back behind. With the left leg, we get a hip flexor stretch and release. On the right side, you might feel this both on the outer part of the leg and the inside. So inner thigh and maybe outer hip. Let's just take 2 more breaths here. And we'll rise up. Just come up onto your hands to lift upper body. If you've got those props, let's just move those out of the way. Then actually sit down onto the right side. Lean to the right so you can bring this left leg around to the front. We're going to come to Cobbler's pose. Just readjust your body And then we're in Cobbler's pose, so another hip opener. Let's go ahead and inhale, sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, hinge forward a tiny bit, just to get a little bit more into the inner thighs. If you're able, keep the spine well extended. That might mean not going down very low. All right, just 3 more breaths here. After that third breath, we're going to hinge our way back up until we're nice and tall, and then start to lean back. As we lean back, bring the knees together, and then lift the feet, returning to boat pose. We're not going to be here too long. We'll just inhale just to extend spine. We'll move here. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front. Hop or step back, plank. Take a shortcut, down dog. Let's do our pigeon sequence other side. Inhale, extend left leg into the air, bend and twist open. As we exhale, we'll unwind and bring left knee to the floor, behind the left wrist, angling the leg. You'll set the right knee down, but use the right knee and toes to start shifting the weight back so you have less pressure in the hands, but you're also finding your center and more sensation in the hips. Here I'll use the block so you can kind of see how I'm using the block. So it acts like a little bench, keeping my hips square. We'll inhale, look forward, and start crawling forward as you exhale. And just coming down, take your time, just find that spot that feels right for you. Again, you might just be propped up on your forearm, something like this, or you might be going a little lower, stacking your fists, or using a block to rest your forehead. And we'll hold here so you can tune into what's happening in your legs. Hip openers here. Very nice. Just holding postures like this really allow for a really good release, because you can kind of relax into the pose, which relaxes the muscles, connective tissue, helping you to release. Okay, just take 2 more breaths. And then we'll rise back up, just come up onto the hands. Set your blocks to the side. And then same thing, we'll sit to the left, sitting down. So we can bring the right leg around to the front. Let's come to our cobbler's pose here. Same thing, so the soles of the feet touch, knees bent, maybe holding on to feet, ankles, or toes here. Hinge forward slightly with the extended spine, just to emphasize more of that energy in the inner thighs. All right, listen carefully and follow me for this next little part. What we'll do is we're going to rise up. Start rounding your back, okay? Just kind of let your back just kind of round, and so you can roll back onto your back and then bring both legs in towards chest. Set right foot down onto the floor, cross left ankle over right thigh. We've done this already. Thread the needle. Left arm through the eye of the needle. Let's catch the shin or hamstring. Couple breaths here. We're going to add something to this as well. All right. Set the right foot onto the floor. Keep this left leg crossed. Keep it where it is. Maybe both arms on the floor. Okay, because what we'll do is actually kind of move into bridge. Your leg is still crossed. Right foot plants into the floor so you can lift the hips up into the air. This will affect probably that left side again. Okay, we're not going to hold here too long. We're going to come back down. Uncross, hug knees into chest. Let's do the other side. So just set the left foot down onto the floor. Cross right ankle over left thigh. Flex that foot. Bring the legs in close as you thread the needle. Catch the left shin or hamstring. Couple breaths here. Feel what's happening on that right leg. All right, we're setting the left foot down. Keep the right leg crossed. We're going to lift hips into our bridge, our cross-legged bridge, we'll call it. All right, go ahead and take a seat. Uncross, hug both knees into chest, and we'll rock our way up to boat pose. Hold there for a moment. Let's just get a little bit more core energy there. All right, breathe in. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front. Hop or step back, plank pose. Go ahead and come down, chaturanga. Up dog, and downward facing dog. Arrive in the pose, take a breath. Inhale here. Exhale, walk, step or hop both feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, fold. Should be a nice release for the back. Weights in the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Let's grow tall. Reach up into the air. Exhale, arms down by your side. Alrighty. Okay, next part. So we have another pigeon pose. I typically call it cross-legged chair pose, but it's like pigeon, okay? So again, standing in mountain pose, I'll try to mirror you here. Shift weight into right foot, press. Feel tall, lengthen spine, inhale. Exhale, draw belly in so we feel secure. So we can lift up that left foot. Hold here for a second. Okay, imagine you're going to kick a soccer ball. So just kick the soccer ball with your foot, cross ankle over thigh, and then take a seat. Just place your hands on your hips here and just take a gentle seat like you're sitting back behind you. Okay, so this is our cross-legged chair pose, but has that same sensation or resemblance to the pigeon pose. Now you can sit back and down as deep as you'd like. Just choose that spot that feels best for you. And again, this is where we flex the foot like we did in the reclining pigeon posture. Okay, we're going to stand up. As we stand up, let's uncross the leg, lifting knee right there. Plant the foot into the ground. Let's go ahead and take both arms up into the air just for a stretch. Good. Exhale, arms back down by your side. Okay, just settle in. We'll do that same thing other side. Start shifting weight into left foot, press. Nice and tall, inhale. Exhale, draw belly in. We'll float the right foot up, flexing the foot. We're going to kick our soccer ball, cross ankle over thigh. Start sitting back. Go ahead and place hands on hips. Hands on hips will help you to be aware of the alignment we want in the hips. That will help with the balance here too. And just going back and down, just finding that sweet spot right there. Flexed foot here to help stabilize the leg in place. Your focus is just maybe something out in front of you or on the floor. Core engagement, helping with the balance. Our cross-legged chair pose, or maybe we'll call it seated pigeon. And we'll rise up, uncrossing the leg, lifting the knee, flexed foot. Plant the foot into the ground. Let's take both arms up into the air. And then arms down by your side. Very good. Maybe a little roll of the shoulders. All right, I'm going to face the top of my mat. We're going to do that same posture. Okay, we're going to do I'll call it seated pigeon. We're going to do our seated pigeon, but we're going to come out of that seated pigeon and step back into a lunge. All right, let's start in mountain pose. Okay, seated pigeon or cross-legged chair pose. Start shifting weight into right foot. Pick up left foot. Kick the soccer ball, cross ankle over thigh, hands on hips. Sit back and down. Okay, just find the spot that feels fine for you. Hold for a moment, settling into the sensation. Then as you're able, take your arms out and up into the air. You're still seated. Then rise up out of the seat, uncross the leg, lift the left knee with the flexed foot. Okay, we're going to hinge forward a little bit, bending the right knee, but extending the left leg back behind us, and then set the toes down behind us like this. So now we're in a high lunge. Breathe in. Exhale, open warrior two. Let's continue from here. Side angle, reach out, rotate the arms. Reach high and low, inhale. Exhale, turn, let's bring the hands to the floor. Step back, plank, right foot lifted. Gently set left knee onto the ground. Find the center here. Then extend Left arm forward for our spinal balance. Reach, inhale, exhale, crunch, elbow to knee underneath you. Re-extend, listen carefully. We're just bringing the left hand to the floor, just your left hand. Right foot still lifted, but you're going to tuck your left set of toes. Tuck left set of toes. Get the hands ready because you're going to push and lift into down dog. Right leg up into the air. Bend and twist. Pigeon. So you're going to unwind, bring right knee to the ground for pigeon pose, traditional pigeon. Use left knee and toes, crawl back. Inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, come down. We're not going to be here too long. Just kind of settle in like we did earlier. Take one more breath here. All right, we're rising back up just to hands. Sit off to right side. Bring left leg around to the front. Cobbler's pose. Just readjust your seat here. Cobbler's pose. Sit up tall. Hinge forward slightly. Feel that initial stretch. We're just going to keep this moving. Lift back up nice and tall. Lean back, ready for boat. Bring knees together, lift feet. We're still moving. Breathe in, lengthen spine. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front. Hop or step back, plank pose. Right side plank. Right hand stays on the ground, turning sideways. Here. Left leg lifts, bend the left knee, turn knee towards ceiling, place left foot on the inside of the right leg. Listen. You're going to turn and bring the left hand to the floor. Your legs are going to stay the same. So you're in plank. I call this fallen tree. So this left foot is still placed on the inside of the right leg. But I'm going to re-extend the left leg up into the air. Left leg is extending. Bend and twist. Pigeon pose on this side. We're going to change our pigeon. So you're going to bring left knee to the ground, behind the wrist, angled leg. Right knee comes down, crawl back. Now instead of going down, okay, this is something new, bring your hands to the side here because they're out in front. Bring them to your side so you have a straight line from shoulder right down to wrist. Do both sides. Press into the floor so you can sit up nice and tall. So another pigeon pose posture. One name for this is king pigeon. King pigeon. Or royal pigeon. All right, one more breath. You'll soften that. Sit now to the left side. Swing the right leg around to the front. Okay, but we're actually going to roll right down to the ground. Hug both knees into chest. Set right foot down, cross left ankle over right thigh. Thread the needle. Or eye of the needle, I should say. So pulling gently the legs in close for this stretch. Then set right foot down, keep the leg crossed, lift hips, cross-legged bridge. Sit back down, uncross legs, bring both knees to chest, rock your way up to boat pose. Breathe in. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front, hop or step back into plank pose, hold. Take a shortcut to down dog. Bend your knees, hips into the air. Inhale. Exhale, walk, step or hop both feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, extend spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, come to standing, reach up into the air. Exhale, arms down by your side. That's our sequence, and that was only one side. We have the other side to do. Alrighty, so we're doing cross-legged chair pose or our seated pigeon. So start shifting weight into left foot, tall in the spine, core engaged. We're picking up the right foot, kick the soccer ball, cross ankle over thigh, hands on hips, take your seat. Mild seat or a deep seat, remember to flex the right foot. So most of the postures now will be kind of this right leg crossed, okay? So pay attention to our various pigeon poses, okay? All right, Take the arms out and up like you're in chair pose. We're going to rise, uncross the leg, lifting knee, flexed foot. Start to hinge forward, bend the left knee, start extending right leg back so you can land on your toes behind you. High lunge. Open, warrior two. Side angle. Left hand down, right hand up. We're still moving. Inhale. Exhale, turn, hands to the floor. Step back, plank pose, left foot lifted. Right there. Gently set right knee onto the ground. Find your center and balance. Then extend right arm forward, right arm forward. So you have spinal balance. Right arm extending forward, left leg reaching back. Inhale. Exhale, crunch, knee to elbow underneath you. Re-extend. Now we're just bringing the right hand to the floor. Tuck your right set of toes. Push into the floor with your hands to lift into down dog. So left leg is in the air. Bend and twist. Left knee to the floor for pigeon pose. Right knee is on the floor. Crawl the leg back. Now we're going down for this one. Down for this one. Couple of breaths down here. Then we'll slowly come back up onto hands. Sit off to left side. Swing the right leg around to the front. Cobbler's pose, just adjust your seat. Hinge forward. Then up and back, boat pose, knees together, lift feet. Inhale. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front, hop or step back, plank pose. Left side plank, onto the left hand. Opening up sideways. Let's pick up that right leg, bend the knee, turn knee towards ceiling, foot to the inside. Do your best. Keep the leg posturing, but bring your right hand to the floor, fallen tree. Re-extend right leg up into the air, down dog. Bend and twist. So pigeon pose on this side. Right knee to the ground, angle the leg. This is the royal pigeon. So the left knee comes to the floor, crawl back so you find your center. Reposition your hands right here so you have good leverage and alignment to help press and lift upper body. So it's like up dog, right? It's a back bend feeling. Lots of stretch and lengthening through the left hip flexor, continuing with the right inner thigh stretch. Okay, we're coming out. So we hinge forward slightly so you can sit down. Swing left leg around to the front. But once you're around, you're going to roll onto your back, hug knees to chest. Set left foot on the floor, cross right ankle over left. So remember, we're working this right leg. That's how we started the whole sequence. Okay? Thread the needle, or eye of the needle. Thread the needle is a different pose. This is eye of the needle. Flex both feet, feel the stretch. Set left foot down. Arms down by your side, lift the hips, cross-legged bridge. This also gets in the hips, it's just a different sensation. Sit back down, uncross, hug knees in. Rock your way up to boat. Good, inhale. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front, hop or step back, down dog. Bend knees, hips into the sky, downward facing dog. That is our sequence. Long. We're going back down to the floor. Hop forward, cross your legs, take a seat, roll down onto your back. I'm just adjusting my mat here. Likes to move away from me. So go ahead and roll down onto your back. Go ahead and hug knees into chest. Let's continue with some more hip openers down here as we're moving towards the conclusion of our practice. With knees hugging in, go back to some movement as it feels good for you. Some circles, rocking forward and back or left and right. Our next pose, of course, is another hip opener. We'll be moving into half happy baby pose. So what we'll do, let's extend the left leg out onto the floor. Keep right knee hugging in. Just hug it in. And then take the knee, kind of the whole leg kind of outside the body a little bit. Like you're drawing the knee up towards your shoulder, the outside of the shoulder. And then kind of kick the right foot towards the ceiling like so. Grab hold of the bottom of the right foot if you can reach, or hold on to the ankle or calf. And then gently press down. Get that nice stretch here. You might find that you get a deeper stretch only working one leg at a time in this particular pose. So it's happy baby pose, okay, with just half of it, right? Even some movements here, some circles or extensions of the leg also will get into that area. 2 more breaths. And then we'll release that right leg onto the floor. Just pause here as if you were in Shavasana for a moment. And we'll hug left knee in directly towards chest. When you pull it straight up towards yourself, you can feel where it just naturally stops, and that's because of the pelvis and the way the leg is situated in the pelvis. But if you kind of take it to the outside a little bit of the body and keep drawing the knee back, it's like, oh, there's a little bit more room there now. And then you can kick the left foot towards ceiling, grab hold of the bottom of the foot, or hold on to the ankle. Half happy baby pose with that gentle press towards the floor. Breathing, releasing any tension, tightness in the hips. We already did a bunch of hip openers. All our various pigeon poses. All right, 2 more breaths. And then we'll release the leg out onto the floor. Let's extend the full body. So the leg's extending forward. Let's extend the arms behind you. Okay, overhead, just reaching back, just to get some good space in the low back region, especially after those hip openers. And then hug knees into chest. Let's take reclining cobbler's pose. So we're staying lying on our back, of course. The soles of the feet touch. Knees are pointing to the left and right sides of the room, but just hold on to your feet with your hands. And then you'll gently press the heels down towards your pelvis. Just notice that natural stop as the legs push forward towards the front end of your mat. And this is the pose. So in Sanskrit, it's Supta Baddha Konasana. Supta means reclining or lying down. Supta Baddha is bound. Konasana, so angled pose, bound angled pose. 2 more breaths. This is the more engaged sensation of the posture. We'll take a little bit more of a relaxed version of this. So keep the soles of the feet together. Just set the feet onto the floor. Relax open. Take some deep breaths. This can feel very nice. This is a nice indicator and messaging to the body and mind that we're getting closer to fuller relaxation, Shavasana. So just hold here. Some deep breaths, allowing gravity to kind of take over in this pose, the weightedness of the legs falling open, that lengthening and stretch that naturally occurs on the inner thighs. And then we'll bring both knees together, hug the knees into chest. Let's take a twist, just a quick one on both sides. So knees move over to the left, knees to the left, right arm to the right, reach and stretch, maybe kind of an active pose. Couple breaths here, just to get a little twist, a little rotation in the spine. Notice how this affects the hips and low back. 1 more breath. Let's bring the knees back up to center with a brief pause. And then knees down to the other side. Couple breaths here. Just want to give you plenty of time for Shavasana. We're getting closer to the end of our hour. Told you we had a lot to do. We did a really dynamic sequence with a lot of components. One more breath. And then return to center. Maybe one more hug if you'd like of the knees towards your body. And now Shavasana. Extending the legs out front, arms down by your side. And just lying flat here on the ground, making this good connection to the earth. Now if you need some supportive props, a blanket, a pillow, please grab those and just place them around and underneath or on top of your body. Whatever's best for you so you can really be at ease. And as you're settling in, just melt into the ground. Either keep your gaze upward or close your eyes and move inward. Stay here as long as you like. As you notice the body fully relaxing, you may want to just stay here for a while. Notice your breath. Just slow, steady breaths. And again, you're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. Even as I end the practice and I come up to seated, you can stay here in Shavasana if you'd like. When it is time to move, take your time with this. You don't have to move right away. Use your breath to generate energy in your body. You might take 5 slow, deep breaths. And as you're breathing slowly and deeply, noticing motion return to your body. And after your 5th breath, start to move very slowly. Take your time. You want to move in slow motion here as you carefully roll onto one side of your body. Even holding here for a few moments if you'd like. And then still moving in slow motion, just guide your way up to seated. Finding a comfortable seat. You might sit up nice and tall, maybe with your legs crossed. Arms relaxed down by your side, hands in your lap. Just find stillness here. And then one more movement. We'll inhale, extend arms up into the sky, big stretch. And exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. Hold here in stillness. Return to the awareness of your breath. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow saying, Namaste.